welcome to another live stream. Today we're gonna continue on the Terminator picture. Hopefully we're gonna finish it today. It's turning out pretty cool. But yeah, we have some work to do. So yeah, let's turn on some music and let's keep scrolling. Or maybe it's Josh. Sorry, I don't know how to say her name. Thank you. Hello, Mega Farmer Lucas. lot of small details I gotta work through. Starting to look like something.
Wake up in the morning light, feel the rhythm, feel the mind. Every step is just a fight, on this stage of life tonight. Dreams are calling, stick around. Hear the music, feel the sound. In this heartbeat we are found. Living life is so profound. It's a way of life we choose. Every win and every bruise. In this dance we never lose. Living wild, no time to snooze.
Hey, Nanny! Oh, some metal for you. Pretty cool.
Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense of I turn and look inside, there's nothing I can't find. In the silence of the night, when my demons come alive, I hear a voice disguised, telling me we're not alright.
Okay.
Destined to find one another.
talk a little bit about what I'm doing. So, I guess it's fairly easy to see what I'm doing, but yeah, so I'm cutting out all the small pieces at the moment because we're starting to get the shakes. When we do a lot of cutouts and you get a lot of the woods, cut a lot of the woods out. The picture is starting to go like this when I'm cutting. So what I have to do is take all the small parts first, so that nothing breaks off. So I can't sort of just go 100% doing all the fun big parts. I have to take my time. So that might be why I'm skipping, from parts to parts and stuff like that. If it looks like, why doesn't it just cut out one character and, no, there's a reason for it. So I'm gonna keep cutting out the small parts before we do the big parts because of that. That one. This one is really small. So yeah. But all the really hard details are done now. So yeah, I probably could start going the bigger ones, but I do like to do the small ones first, just out of safety, Nice picture, cool. Thank you, Frankie. So nice to be able to go 100% on my saw, because it's been broken for some time, so I've only been able to go 50% speed, and now we're back to doing 100, and it's just so much easier when you don't have to think about, the speed. If you have any questions for me, just let me know. I'll try to answer questions. Yeah, so you can see small details right here. Just getting rid of all of those small details. Just so that I don't bring up any problems later on. Okay, might be ready for doing some bigger parts now again. Maybe a couple more. So I've been scrolling for about 3.5 years now. So, yeah. Said hi. Hey, Logan. We're getting closer and closer to a giveaway. This is number 90. Picture number 90. We're gonna give away one for free when we get to picture number 100. Okay, and now here's one piece that's going to be a little bit challenging. It's always these types of pieces to break off, because it's almost like in the middle of the picture. Not in the middle, but you know, we have done some cutouts here, and there's a lot of cutouts there, so it's always risky when you have like pieces like that. Cool. That turned out great. You can see, I believe, John Connor, I believe this is. So now he's done. That's pretty cool. There we got all the characters. We only have just a little bit of the jacket and some other pieces here left, so that's good. Just trying to figure out which one would be good to do now. I'm actually missing one hole here. I have to do that. Let's do that now. It's just one small piece. Usually I go faster than this, but I'll take my time because it's such a detailed picture. There we go. There's always one piece that you forget. Always. I don't think I made a single picture yet where I don't have forgotten to drill one hole. So that happens. this one. There we go. Hello, Raven Dark. That's my girlfriend. So yeah. I'll do another big piece again. I'm starting to really feel the shakes. Maybe getting this stuff away will help. Sorry, I forget to show you guys the process or the the how far we get. I get so obsessed with just, you know, working that I forget to flip it around and show you sort of the progression of how far we have gotten. I guess that's somewhat the point of doing this, and sort of follow the trip from beginning to end. So yeah, getting closer and closer to the finish now. Only the small finishes part now, and now everything should be good. Like, they only have the side. Shouldn't break off now. If something breaks now, then I really messed up. Unbelievable. Thank you. Six cuts left. There's one small piece under here. I could notice it, so I was like, okay, we're not gonna risk that. 3 more. So 2 big pieces left. That's cool. Hey, it's this guy. Hey, Jared. Last piece now. Just this big black piece right here. Whew, it's been a journey, guys. Yes, I think we did it. Just gonna do one last check, see if there's anything we're missing, but I think that's good. Yeah. So here we go. The ultimate finish. So then we're gonna sand it down and then we're gonna oil it, put it in a frame and yeah, finish the whole thing. Oh, and then the boring part. I always forget. I have to remove all of this stuff. That's boring for you guys to watch, but I have to do it. It's just blue tape. Tomorrow I'm thinking about starting to do another project because I just saw the movie, what's it called again? Thunderbolts, which was really cool actually. I recommend seeing it if you like superheroes. That was a cool movie. So I'm thinking we're gonna start doing that tomorrow. So many little pieces. How long did this take? Not too long actually. We did it two streams, but a total of 3 hours I think we did. So not too bad actually. 3 hours in just cutting out. So the whole thing, I don't know when we get done. Probably 4-hour session. I'm not sure. It's just getting this tape off that's always takes forever. The oiling and all of that is just piece of cake really. I'm actually wondering more and more if I should try to find another solution than keep doing the blue tape, because I know there are different ways of doing this. But it's just that when you've done this for such a long time, you sort of get used to, you know, the way you have always done it and what works. But there might be a better way doing it, at least as far as streaming goes, because I know this part of peeling everything off is just, I mean, one thing that it's boring for you guys to watch, but it's really annoying for me as well. So I might be looking into other ways of doing it. But yeah, this is from the Terminator movies. If you haven't watched them, they're really cool. Movies from the 80s, I believe. You can just sand off the tape. No, I guess I could, but that was that's very risky, you know. When there are so many small parts, it could come off. But in theory, you could do it. But I would not suggest doing that. I've done that once before, and then I had pieces breaking off. So. Three hour, not too bad at all. No. I do have a professional scroll saw though. That makes it a little bit, or a lot easier, time-wise. Like the beginner scroll saw, you can do what I do on the beginner scroll saw, but you really have to. It's just a hassle to change the blades. Like every time you thread through a hole, you have to. What do you call it? Like an Allen key. You have to use, and you know, it's just a horrible process on a budget scroll saw. So, yeah, that's really the difference between a professional scroll saw and a beginner one. Looks amazing. Thank you, Mega Farmer. Always so supportive. I love it. I'll say it again because there's probably some new people here, but we're gonna have a giveaway soon. This is picture number 90, and when we get to picture number 100, we're gonna give away a picture, and it's going to be a picture of Deadpool. It's a really funny one. So we're getting close. Not entirely sure how we're gonna do the giveaway. Somehow I need to figure out how to do it so that everyone has a chance to win it in chat. So if anyone's have any suggestions of what we could use, that would be helpful. Do you do commission? If so, how much generally? I'm currently doing commission now, but for someone. But in general, I try to do as little as possible, just because I've had some bad experiences where, you know, people are kind of picky, you know, and there's nothing wrong about that. But I prefer making stuff and then selling it on like a flea market and stuff like that. I think that's more fun, and then I can also but it depends, you know. The commission that I've been working on now, commission, is that the right word? That's been fairly interesting actually. It's been for the sort of military stuff, which has been kind of cool, but I didn't want to live stream that because I didn't really feel like it fit with what I'm currently doing. So I guess the answer to it, yes, I do commission work, but I try to avoid it. But if I would get commission stuff for making like superheroes, which I could stream live, that would be so much more beneficial to me, because then I could really combine what I'm kind of doing at the moment. Oh God. So everything that I'm doing by hand, you could do with a machine, called a CNC machine. That's why no one is doing this anymore. Like when the CNC machine came and the laser and everything, it killed scroll sawing. Like why would you do this by hand when you can do it with a machine, you know? But why would you buy something like this that is been made by a machine? I don't get it. At least not in wood, you know? Like I think it's more valuable to have something that's actually made by hand. But CNC it's kind of its own art form in doing that as well. So I'm not gonna like talk too bad about people who work with a CNC machine, because there are some programming involved in that, and it can be challenging probably and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna be too judgmental about it. I've actually been thinking about getting like a laser or something like that, just to if I wanted this to say Terminator right here, then it could be cool to sort of just have, you know, it being made by a machine instead of actually making it by hand. But at the moment I'm like, I don't know. I tend to like pictures that speaks for themselves. I'm not that much of a fan to actually write what it is, because I don't know. I just like it when it's sort of a cool picture in itself. Like this. This is a cool picture in itself, so you don't really have to know from what movie it is. You could still sort of hang it on your wall, because it's a cool picture in itself. I agree. Made by hand is more valuable. Machine made is just more commercial. One is for art and one is for sales. It's a nice, yeah. I agree, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a nice touch. Jesus Christ, I'm sick of this. Come on. Gives me time to talk to you guys. That's good. And next Saturday, I'm selling pictures in Norway at the flea market in Ørje. So maybe I'll try to live stream it, or I will try to live stream it, but we'll see. No music, yeah. Good day to you, sir. Your artwork is amazing. Thank you, Sir Renity. I'll turn on some music and everything when we start sanding it down. I just easier to turn off the music when you're gonna talk, because I find it a little bit hard to know what level I should put the music on. Like I like to have it really loud, but then you guys can't hear what I'm saying, so. It's a nice touch when it's silent, when the saw is not running. Yeah. Soon done with the tape. I gotta be careful as well, because I can't just risk ripping the wood off or it, you know. So I have to be a little bit careful when peeling it off as well. There we go. Cool. Oh, finally. Just like, let me get rid of this stuff, then we can start continuing. Okay, that took forever.
losing grip on the reins. Industry shaking out.
Okay guys, done with another picture. Let's talk about it. I'm just gonna clean up a little bit like I usually do. There we go. Okay. Ooh, I turned off the light. Okay. Turned out super cool. Thank you, Splashby. I usually put it in every picture that I do. I put in a glass frame, but I usually don't do it on stream. So I actually messed it up today. But yeah, there you sort of have the finished project, finished product, and how it looks. Turned out pretty slick, pretty cool. Very happy with this one. So yeah, tomorrow we are going to start doing superheroes again, and I'm thinking we should do the Red Guardian next. Have anyone seen the movie Thunderbolts yet? This is a pretty funny character from that show, so I've been thinking about maybe starting to do at least 2 pictures from Thunderbolts. I recommend you go and see the movie. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's gotten a little bit, you know, some people really like it, some people don't really like it, but I'm a fan. I really enjoy that show, so pretty cool. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Nanny. Always fun. Nanny is always fun. So that's that. I can show you the other picture. It's an easy one, but yeah, that's the main character from Thunderbolts. So yeah, those 2 I'm thinking about doing next. This one I think will be pretty fast, so we'll probably combine this one with another thing, or I'll do it when if I have like a lot to do that day or something like that. So because there's not so many cuts, and it's a fairly easy one, but you know, you should never underestimate details, I figured out, because those eyes right here, you gotta get them right. You can't just run through them like there's nothing. So yeah, but that's a cool picture. Simple one. This one I think is a lot of fun. The Red Guardian. Yeah. Whew. So yeah, 1.5 hour stream today. Not too bad, not too bad. I'll show you again. Turned out great. Fun. Number 90. Number 90. We made 90 picture live on YouTube, guys. 90 pictures. That's insane. That's insane. Like when we started in January, it's too many pictures. It's way too many pictures. But we're having fun, so that's why. Anyway, guys, tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. and we'll start with the Red Guardian. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Bye-bye, guys. Woohoo!